It says it's live and I'm still singing. Hi out there, people. Happy almost Halloween. Yay. Happy Halloween, Samantha.
Happy Halloween.
I like your bow tie. It's very cool.
Thank you.
So we are doing our continuation of our Disney Channel original movie madness, Decom madness. This would have gone up earlier in the month, but life is complicated, guys. Did you know that? Has it been shown to you? I think it has. So things got pushed back a little bit, but the best thing ever happened in that it just so happened with all our delays that we are going to watch Halloweentown. We watched Halloweentown for this episode, and I'm super excited because it just like synced up perfectly. Halloweentown in October, as it should be.
Great when that happens.
Yes, and we did talk about Halloweentown before when we were doing like the more general Bubblegum Social Club episodes. So we might deviate a little bit from talking just about the story. So if you don't know anything about Halloweentown, go look up a trailer on YouTube, please. And then, you know, watch our other video if you want more just sort of like our visceral thoughts on it and our yelling about how much we love it. I don't think I yelled that much, but I'm loud, so I don't know.
I might have yelled in that video.
One of the times that Samantha yelled and I didn't. I think, didn't you have like bee ears?
Yeah, I had this a little springy headband thing.
Yeah, and I either had hearts or mini ears. I don't remember. It's been like 3 years since we've been making videos, and I like that I haven't upgraded anything except for adding this. It's like the only upgrade I made. Anyway, the little things. Quick summary about Halloweentown, in case you're still watching this and you haven't seen Halloweentown or you don't remember it very well. It is about a family, the oldest daughter of which is like super into like, you know, Halloween stuff, basically, like werewolves, vampires, witches, etc., etc., etc. But her mom doesn't let them celebrate Halloween, and it seems very odd because they look like a very like stereotypical, ooh, that's my phone, family. Yeah, I see that. I'm getting secret messages, you guys, but I'm here to tell you that on my side everything is okay. So hopefully it's working. Yes, the spirits are speaking to me. Earlier today, I did Madame Leota makeup, which is why my lips look so dark and also shiny at the same time. If you don't know who Madame Leota is, that is in the Honda Mansion. She's inside of a crystal ball, but like just her head. I don't know how that works. Anyway, awesome. Yeah. So Marnie's the oldest out of the 3 siblings, and she's really into this stuff. And then she can't go out for Halloween. And then her nerdy younger brother is like, why do you even care about Halloween? And the youngest sister just keeps creepily whispering that somebody is coming. So as I was watching it, I was like, that's very weird. That was very odd. Poor Sophie.
I never thought of that as creepy. I wonder if that's...
It wasn't ever creepy because you weren't really thinking much about it because you just think trick-or-treaters are coming up to the door. But like if I was a mother, so the mother, we find out, used to be a witch, married a mortal human person, moved to the mortal world. And the grandmother comes because it's Marnie's 13th birthday and she should be becoming a witch, but she's not. And if she doesn't do it now, she's not going to be able to get her powers. But also something bad's going down to Halloweentown and they need to do something about it. So it's basically about all of that. Dealing with all of that. But I'm just saying that like if you're the mom, I guess she already kind of knows that Sophie's powers are manifesting, like when she hides the cookie and everything, but just like having your daughter who you know has powers just whispering somebody's coming is kind of I would be a little like who what is oh dear. Because I don't know if we talked about this last time, but the grandmother, oh my gosh, Cromwell, Maggie? Yes? Okay, Maggie, good. Maggie, thank you. I was like, oh man, I'm like the worst. I'm bad at names, you guys, just in general. John Green's thing is mispronouncing people's names. My thing is just not remembering them at all.
Just forget.
Completely. Yeah. So yeah, I noticed that when the kids end up following her to Halloweentown on the magic bus, pre Harry Potter FYI, that she says somebody's coming, like, you know, she has the same kind of premonition powers, and I thought that was cool. But anyway, your turn to talk.
She doesn't. I didn't hear the last part. What happened?
I said it's your turn to talk. I said she just notices that. Yeah. No, I was just like, I'm talking a lot, and I should let Samantha talk. And we haven't done this in a bit. It has been a stressful month, you guys. So
yeah. It's okay. Wait, but I want to know what you noticed about her. I didn't hear.
Oh, sorry. That she said somebody's coming the same way that Sophie did at the beginning of the movie. So she has the same like premonition-y type powers.
Yeah, I love that. I love that connection.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, every time I watch this movie, I'm so like struck by how it should be really stupid, but it's not. Yeah, exactly. I wrote this down. I was like, it's one of those movies that, to me, has enough like just wonderfully redeeming moments, and wonderful like moments of smart humor, and fairly good acting. That it's bearable. It's more than bearable. It's actually enjoyable. But you're watching it like, I shouldn't really like this much. It's kind of. But
it's really cheesy, and like the costumes are really cheesy, but at the same time they're like, there's enough high quality like set design and costumes that it balances out the weird. Like last time we talked about like the Elvis mummy, I don't know what he is, and then the lady who is also a pincushion, which doesn't like, because so many kids dress up as pincushions for Halloween. So weird.
But it's like the whole creature dynamic always kind of bothered me a little bit in Halloweentown, in that like it's mostly people just with a face difference, like their mask.
Yeah, it's very like first made Star Wars movie. It's like very A New Hope in like the cantina, like, and then that guy's got that face, and that guy has whiskers, and that guy's nose looks weird.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot like that. And then you mentioned last time. There's also just like a dog, a random real dog.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't notice it as much the last time we watched it, but when I watched it this time, I remember that. I was like, there is just a dog. Weird.
Well, because she says that they used to be the same world, but then they got I don't remember why. They got separated.
They created Halloweentown because they were persecuting humans, and humans were persecuting them.
So kind of like the X-Men.
Sorta.
And also that one book I read about unicorns that I can never remember the title of, but I'm pretty sure isn't The Last Unicorn. It's very confusing. There's a book about unicorns that I haven't read, and one that I have read, but I can't figure out which one is which. Anyway, tangent. Yeah, like the things that really work is Aggie Cromwell. Like, she's so great. There's a few acting moments that around this time that I was like, that's a little cheesy. Yeah. But I understand why, because it's very much that sort of like early special effects. I don't really know what I'm reacting to acting. Mm-hmm. So everything else, like when like this time around when the mom shows up, what is her name? I don't know her name.
I forget.
I know. Calabar says her name a couple times, and I was like, I should remember this, and immediately went, it's gone. She comes to pick up her children who have run away, and is like blaming her mother, their grandmother, for taking them. And I didn't really think about it the last time, I don't think, but she was so sad. And you could just see her just like trying not to cry, like that trying not to cry face. Mm-hmm. And because basically like the help she thought she would have to defeat whatever evil is attacking her home. And then also the connection with her grandkids is just gone in one fell swoop. That seems final. Yeah. And so that was, I was like, and then it makes sense why she ends up going with stupid street boy.
Yeah.
Whatever the heck his name was.
Yeah. Luke.
Yeah, I need to write down names while I watch things from now on, because it's really bad.
I know.
But yeah, those things make more sense, when you watch it a second time or a fifth time.
Fifth time, 10th time.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so I did notice this, and then also the other thing I noticed was Calabar's acting. I appreciated it so much more this time. I think I might have actually put it down last time. I don't remember. But I really felt like he did a good job of transitioning. It's a little weird because he shows up first and he seems really nice and you don't know that he's the bad guy. And then you see a guy with a mask who is definitely the bad guy because he has magic powers that he does bad things with.
Yeah, that thing creeped me out when I was a kid. Oh my God.
No, it was scary. It was genuinely
legitimately scary. Like,
yeah, no, that was because it just was very angry and weird and his face was strange.
And it moved in this way that was like, oof.
Yeah, because it was like attached to this part, so it would move with his face, but the rest of it was kind of loose. So like it just sort of scrunched in the middle, and that was creepy. It's a creepy mask. I don't like it. But then when he reveals himself, like he does a really good job of actually making his face in between those two things, which was kind of surprising because one is a mask and one is just like his face.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does it. I mean, makeup obviously creates more shadows, but he does a good job of having like this angry, constant look on his face, which I thought was really like when people change when actors just genuinely can just change their faces like that is amazing to me. Like I don't understand.
I know. I'm just totally agree.
Yeah. It's crazy. Those are the things that I really noticed this time around, like the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we should take a moment to mention Debbie Reynolds.
Yes, definitely. I was gonna do that, but I was really scared I was gonna say her name wrong. I was like, please let Samantha say something.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, she's so amazing. Is so amazing, and in this movie, I loved it.
She's so like grandmotherly and yet like funny and just like kick-ass. I mean, she really takes control of the situation as much as she can, and doesn't let age or whatever, gender, anything get in the way of that.
Yeah, you feel she's like basically the heart of the movie. Her and Marnie are, but the actress playing Marnie is very young, so you can see there's a few points where you can like feel her acting. There's a few little spots here and there. I think especially when she has to deliberately do something while pretending not to notice something else.
Yeah.
Is one of those like when Sophie changes the lock into a frog and the camera moves so it's not looking at the gate anymore. And you can just see her deliberately take that huge step forward.
Yeah.
And, like that's not the thing that normal people would do. Like that's a weird, like extra big step that she had to take to get in front of her brother to not be in the shot anymore. But I mean, she's very good though. Like that, she's one of the reasons the movie works so well. But you believe that Halloweentown exists because of Debbie Reynolds. Like she makes it real.
Totally.
Yeah. Because she just interacts with everything as if it's the most normal thing and isn't like. And the thing is that the other actors who you can see their faces of more in Halloweentown, they have to do a bit more character acting because they're playing like, friendly monsters basically.
Well, and monsters that are like going grocery shopping. Yeah,
and it's exaggerated a lot, which is fun. And like as a kid, like that was the most fun is learning about it's it does have that Harry Potter-esque thing of like discovering a whole new world kind of thing. And it's funny because like I think even without realizing it, my aesthetic for Halloween is very much Halloweentown because I don't like scary stuff, but I love Halloween and like spooky stuff. Like I think it's more like this is my way of experiencing adventure without actually going anywhere.
Yeah.
And also the idea that like the whole outcast thing that like you can really enjoy being an outcast around the time of Halloween. You can play it up.
Yeah, exactly. It is kind of sad though that it's part of Halloweentown is like we couldn't be ourselves all the time, so we had to. And Marty doesn't feel like she can be herself all the time, even though she tries.
Yeah. It's very much like, you could make a case for this being a horrible story about segregation.
Yes, exactly. You could.
Which is awful. But there's that whole like kind of folklore aspect of, we're magic people who don't want to deal with your dumbness.
Yeah,
so,
totally.
There's also that, and the thing is that the Calabar's whole thing was to take over the human world and not like reintegrated. This is a weird conversation that I was not expecting to have.
Yeah, but actually we can segue into like how does this movie fit into the Decom universe in terms of like archetype and plotline, and you know, the family unit really is such a key part of so many Decoms.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's just like children running around, and you're like, "Where are your parents?
Yes.
Where should they go?"
Well, the lack thereof, the family unit, I suppose.
Yeah. But sometimes that is. So far, the movies that we've seen have been Brink and Under Wraps, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Under Wraps is sort of similar to this movie in the whole, like, you know, not scary monster and you know, trying to heal the family kind of thing.
Yeah, I felt like one of my notes was I feel like having watched Under Wraps and then this one, I feel like they learned a lot of lessons from Under Wraps, or like they grew in the writing room a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what, I don't know how to phrase this, how they follow up on the like, you know, who's kind of in charge of that, and like how that changed over the years at the beginning of the Decoms, because they weren't Decoms, like they weren't even called Decoms when we were growing up. They were just Disney Channel original movies. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I guess they're calling them Decoms now, and I don't want to say Decom, even though I've said it 5 times already, just because it sounds funny to me. But it's faster, so I understand why it happens. But I wonder like how much they based, you know, what they made after based on previous experiences, how much it was like, oh, there's just this movie that somebody wants to make and it works for our channel, so we're going to put it up. Because they still do that on the Disney Channel. There's like shows from Canada and the UK that show up on the Disney Channel, and I'm watching it like, what is, like, I like this, but this is different than what I'm used to. And I'm like, oh, so they just like, cool, we need something for Halloween. This story about children and werewolves that we're never going to show any other seasons of.
Right.
Even though it ends on a cliffhanger. That's fine. Not that I'm bitter about that anyway. So I do wonder like how it changed. And before we started talking, I was, you know, mentioning like, I feel like this movie out of the 3 we've seen, well, Brink is very much a Decom, but this one feels much more like the modern Decoms.
Yeah.
You know, most of it doesn't feel that aged for the most part.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
Yeah, it surprises me.
Yeah, no, I know. And I think that we see the, you know, a certain family type that is repeated a lot, and then there's an absent parent, and there's a kid who's an outcast, and there's actually a lot of siblings in Decom families, and this one is no exception. And there's usually some kind of parent and aunt, uncle, or grandparent, or some other figure who's an opposing force until it's usually reconciled in the end. And I feel like this is a place we see that start.
Yeah, you're right. I actually hadn't thought about that, because that happens in like Teen Beach Movie too.
Really?
Yeah. There's like, yeah, well, we'll get to Teen Beach Movie. I'm so looking forward to that day. We watch I'm like counting down the movies. There's so many, but I'm just like, I'm gonna watch Teen Beach Movie. It's gonna be glorious. Anyway, yeah, it's the same thing with that, which is one of the more recent ones where it's like, and I think even Descendants, which I still haven't seen, which is terrible of me, because like that's my brand. I should be seeing these movies. But Descendants, I know, also has that like, you know, parent who wants you to do a thing. You're not entirely sure you want to do thing. And then, you know, you kind of learn your lesson, whether it's that your parent might not have your best interest at heart, or it's that your parent needs to learn to love you no matter what, or maybe I should have listened to them and they were saying things that I didn't see in their perspective at first. Yeah,
I think that happens a lot too.
Yeah, and I always appreciate it when they make the parents, you know, real people, because that's one thing that I noticed about this one. Well, like Under Wraps, and Brink, the parents were definitely had like their own problems that they were trying to deal with while simultaneously raising kids, which is how life works. So, and we were talked about that a lot, and I like yelled about the dad a lot in Brink. And in this movie, what I thought was interesting was how the mom, whose name we don't know, whose name is a mystery for the ages, how she she kept saying, like, you don't know everything about Halloweentown. Like, she doesn't know about Calabar. Like, but something must have happened in Halloweentown that.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too.
I was wondering if she felt like her children would have more opportunities in the normal, because she married a mortal man and then moved to the mortal world and had children there. And so her children are half mortal, something that is said in the movie at one point. And so then like Marnie says, oh, Mom, I understand now why you said Halloweentown is more complicated than what I think it is, or it's not what I think it is. And I was like, yeah, but your mom didn't know that was going to happen. Your mom thought everything was fine in Halloweentown. So what happened to her?
I know. I thought that was an instance of lazy writing, which is not unusual in these movies.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to have those cut corners in these movies because they're for kids, and I mean, I'm not saying that you do low quality work for kids, but I'm saying that you can only make it so long, and you can only explain so much in that period of time. So certain things just kind of like, don't need that.
Yeah. Certain exposition is like, we don't need that.
Yeah. So yeah.
I know, but that struck me this time too.
Yeah. It was weird. My headcanon is that she just feels like her children would have a better, have more opportunities in the mortal world because it seems bigger than Halloweentown is. But we're going to get to the sequels of Halloweentown. I've seen the second one, but I've never seen the subsequent sequels. And so I'm very curious what Halloweentown looks like going forward.
Yeah. They're actually, again, kind of impressively enjoyable sequels. I would say. Like, I always found this whole series very just fun and interesting. And I'm 31 and I could watch it again tonight and enjoy it. Also, part of that is nostalgia, which we've gone into before, but
Yeah, but I don't think that it's just that. I think it's a well-made movie too, and like we were saying, like it's one of the first Decoms that to us feels like a Decom, and there's a lot of Disney Channel movies that are not good.
This is very true. We'll suffer through them.
I seriously cannot wait for those. I would be so happy.
And also, I think there's certain ones that we think very oppositely about good or bad. So.
Are you talking about High School Musical, which you haven't seen?
Perhaps. also things like motocross.
I don't remember. I think I saw part of motocross, but I think I just didn't care. Sorry.
I love that movie so much. Oh my god.
I mean, now knowing, obviously I've known you for most of our lives at this point, but now the things that I've learned about you, the stuff that you experienced before I met you, like when you were talking about Brink and rollerblading and stuff, and I was like, you rollerbladed? What? I can see now more why you were into that, and I think that culture of all of that stuff seems so foreign to me that I was just like, I don't know what this is. Yeah. And I think that's why I was sort of like, okay, that's definitely on TV, and I don't really understand what's happening, so I'm gonna go watch some cartoons now.
Fearless.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing those where I just didn't. It's not that I didn't like them. It didn't grab me as a kid, so I didn't watch it. But this one has so much. It has the little girl who has is almost like the chosen one to a certain respect, which we talked about last time, Sophie. Who were like, Sophie has all the magic, and Marnie's like, I don't understand how to do this, but I should be able to do this.
Yeah, actually, Marnie annoyed me so much more this time because of that.
Me too.
I was like, because you said that last time, and I kind of acquiesced to it, but this time I was watching, it was like, damn, Marnie's annoying, and Sophie really has all the talent.
I think what it is that Sophie's working on a much instinctual level, and Marnie is just very frustrated, and I understand why.
Marnie's sort of very much, of course it's easy to understand. But she's also very much 13 and almost a little bit bratty.
She's very bratty, her mom kind of puts up with a lot more than she's so strict about certain things, and I think that as a way to balance it out, she's a little. I like how we're talking about this as if they're real people, but she's a little not strict about other things. Like when Marnie talks back to her, and I'm just like, that must hurt. That must hurt her feelings. That poor mom. I'm surprised that she isn't like telling her stuff, but she's probably like, well, enough has happened. I should probably just let her blow off some steam. But yeah, but I think also that it's very in tune with those feelings you have at that age anyway. Like I'm kind of lost and I'm trying to find a place, but there are obstacles for me finding my place and I don't know why they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially for her when everybody else gets to do Halloween stuff and she doesn't.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It's a little like, you know, if I knew somebody whose parents didn't let them enjoy Halloween and it wasn't for like religious reasons, I would be a little like, what?
Yeah. I thought that. It was like, you know, you could avoid a lot of frustration in your daughter if you would let them do Halloween. And we still don't know why she doesn't like to let them do Halloween, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, does Halloween have, well, because she said it's her 13th Halloween, not her 13th birthday. So maybe something about Halloween can kind of make your magic stronger in the mortal world.
I always thought that too. And it seems like, you know, with the bus thing, like people from Halloweentown come visit mortal world during Halloween. So maybe she was afraid that someone from her world would see her kids and, God forbid, take them or something, or I don't know.
Or just that Marnie would encounter a real Halloween townian and realize realize that there's something more out there, even if she doesn't know her connection to it, and you know, find her way. But so that was interesting. It would have been nice. I mean, I'm assuming there's no more backstory for the mom later on, because I know the mom starts like doing magic at some point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I really like the actress who plays the mom. I think she seems like she's cool. I mean, the character's very cool. So I really like, I understood where the mom was coming from. I think even as a kid, I thought she was mean, but I was like, well, she's clearly loves her kids. So, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that too. I mean, she took protecting them to an extreme, but there was never, I mean, maybe she was in the wrong for not telling them because they found out anyway, you know, but I never felt like she was like 100% mean, you know?
Yeah. So I feel, exactly. She wasn't the bad guy, which was nice. Yeah. And then like her responses to things made more sense. Were kind of explained a little bit better than like the dad and Brink, even though I understood why he was back and forth. His leap from not understanding his son to understanding his son was just a little touch too big for me. I was a little surprised that he got to that conclusion so quickly. And not to say that I haven't seen parents do that before. Like, I know that it's possible, but just in a movie, it took me out a little bit like, whoa, what happened between then and now? And with her, I understood her progression of like, no, I really do love this place. This place was in danger, and I do love it, and I do want my children to be happy, and I was wrong to keep it from them because that put them in danger. So it's sort of like reverse Frozen, where it's like, instead of being like, don't do that, it's like, oh, no, you should do that so that you know what to do in the future in case this comes up again.
Exactly. Yeah, reverse Frozen. I love that. Yeah, there were moments like where you do see that she, deep down, it's that family thing. Like, you frustrate me to death, but I'm going to protect you because you're my family. Like when she runs after her mother in the theater.
Yes. Yeah. They do a weirdly good job of showing both healthy and unhealthy, like, coping mechanisms with family.
Yeah.
Stress. And that's why this movie, I think, feels so real, despite, you know, the sets that are like, else. The sets are really good, but they're also, you know, not like Lord of the Rings, right? So it's having these people who felt very real is what makes the story good, combined with the very good acting that happens in it. Except for, okay, so like, dude with red hair, the bad kid, he's not a bad actor, but he's not as good as everybody else is.
It's noticeable.
I feel like such a jerk saying that. But
I love him by the end. Oh my gosh.
No, I mean, he's great, and he does a good job of being an antagonist. But every time he talks, I'm like, no, like, just tone it down a notch, just a little bit.
It's fun. He comes back in the third one.
Oh, is it the third one? Because I remember him coming back, and I remember them going to the place where all the lost things go.
Yeah, the socks. Yeah.
Yes, that's like the only thing I remember from like any subsequent Halloweentown movie. Oh, I think that and the masks. The masks, the dance, when the
yes, oh my god, so scary.
Yeah, that's what I remember because it's terrifying. But I always get that confused with the dance scene in Hocus Pocus, and I always like, which movie is that?
Easy to confuse.
Yeah, because it's very similar situation.
They're both terrifying.
Yeah, but I think the mask thing is way more terrifying. I think as a whole, Hocus Pocus is way more scary as a movie.
Definitely.
But that scene with the anyway, we'll get to that movie. But
yeah.
Back to the Decom aspect of it, they really kind of got that like the archetypes of the younger person, the adults, like that really got kind of hammered in, I think, you know, for Brink. And then it felt with Brink, it felt like a little bit more sitcom-y, and then with this movie felt more real. And then you kind of see that it changes for every movie where there's that level. And like Halloweentown should be kind of like our barometer. Like, is it as good as Halloweentown?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, that'll be our thing from now on. Is it as good as Halloweentown?
That's a high bar.
On a scale of like, we're gonna have to find like the worst Disney Channel movie to be like, is it either this or on a scale from this to Halloweentown, where is this movie?
On a scale of Wish Upon a Star and Halloweentown.
Oh my god, I loved Wish Upon a Star, and I cannot wait for us to watch it.
I kind of loved it too, but it's also like,
I will buy that on DVD if I have to. Like, we're gonna watch it.
Don't get me wrong, I love it, but sometimes it's one of the ones I love to hate. I don't know, something about it is.
Yeah, no, I'm again, like I said, I love terrible things, so it's gonna be amazing. But yeah. So I think we can hit Halloweentown as the high for the acting, for the set design that works with its strengths instead of trying to hide its weaknesses. It kind of uses the weaknesses to create this really fun environment, and the storyline that is actually very solid, even if at times you're like, wait, what? Yeah, and pretty well paced for a Decom. Yes, very. It feels a lot longer than it is, which is impressive.
Like, not all the action happens in the last 5 minutes, like Under Wraps.
That movie was so weird. I want to say that it's like on par with Halloweentown, but it really isn't.
Really not. It's really not.
Well, because like the opening scene was so good, and the interaction with the son and the mom was amazing, and then everything else happened.
Yeah.
All I have to do is remember like the part where he gets out of the house and like gets lost.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why did all of those things have to happen? Why couldn't just some of those things have happened? I think that so far we have Under Wraps, Brink, and then Halloweentown.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. Halloweentown being the best, Under Wraps being the least best.
The least best.
I'm trying to be nice, okay? And I know that there are movies that are way worse than Under Wraps, so, you know.
Well, yeah. But also it's the first one, so we have to give it, like, a tiny allowance.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good TV movie. It's just not a good Decom either.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the other nice thing about thinking of things that make up a Decom, the thing that's nice about this is that there isn't a romance in it, even though that guy he's like, and the thing is, I didn't even get to go, like, I didn't have a chance to go on a date with you when I, like, was super handsome, which, super handsome, for a teenager, I guess. And she was like, date? Like, what are you talking about? Why would I want to do that? I'm just like, not because you like him, but just because there's so many other things happening. Why would that even be on your mind? And I just like, I love Marty. Thank you, Marty.
That was great. And you're right. That is a very good point. We should remember that when we watch future ones, because romance becomes, I think, a little bit more common.
It becomes especially as Disney Channel becomes more of a girl, quote unquote, girl channel. It becomes way more common. And growing up, I loved it because Disney Channel like movies basically became the ones that weren't adventure movies. Weren't like straight up adventure movies. Were basically like romantic comedies for tweens.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. So I loved that. Like there's one, I think it's called, is it the 17th Wish? It's something like some number, birthday, and wish that came out. It came out more recently. It's got, what is her name? I don't remember her name. She had her own TV show.
Recently, or?
Like since recently, as in I don't think you would have seen it.
Oh, okay.
And that's definitely like a romantic comedy kind of thing where she gets different wishes and she tries to fix, it's a little bit like Groundhog Day birthday thing. But it has a romantic spin to it too, but it also has a friendship spin to it. So it's just interesting to see how they start kind of cramming that romantic angle in things.
Yeah.
Where like in Under Wraps, was it Under Wraps? It was kind of there, but like,
really in a weird way.
In a very weird way, but it was like, I care for you, but we're too young to really understand our feelings, so we're just gonna tease each other, but also like make sure the other person doesn't die.
Yeah.
And that was kind of sweet because it was like, I remember feeling that way. Like I want to say that I like you and want to hang out with you, but then that will cause many complications, and I don't want to deal with those. I'm realizing right now how much I have not grown up since then. I'm not saying that that's my approach to people I have crushes on now, but this is definitely my approach to people I have crushes on now. Anyway, enough about me. How are you?
I think we need to take a quick moment to appreciate Dylan because he's hilarious.
Wait, the little boy? Yeah. He's so... He's so bordering on being an annoying little brother, but he's only an annoying little brother because he just is like, why is all of this happening?
I love his thing about like, why is it the troublemakers get all the attention? I was
just thinking the same thing. Yeah. It's true.
Those people who just follow the rules don't get the attention.
And sometimes that's the reason you follow the rules, so you don't have to deal with it. But yeah, when he said that, I was like, I think me and Samantha talked about that last time, being like, yep, that's an accurate statement. I understand that.
With you, buddy.
But yeah. I also like at the end, he was like, I didn't do anything to help. It was static electricity.
Or the Aurora Borealis.
I know. I'm like, maybe just accept, you're a scientist, right, kid? Like, you're seeing what's happening. You're observing, things happening in front of you. I think you can believe your eyes, I hope. Like,
yeah. But
he does become like a nerdy magician later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he like basically like Hermione? Is he like Hermione?
Yeah. He's definitely Hermione.
Oh my gosh, sorry. That just made me laugh really hard. It's like a joke that nobody will get if I try to tell it to anybody else. I'm like, hey, the Halloweentown kids sure's like Hermione. They're like, oh, the girl? Like, no, the boy.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'll be a Decom Madness in joke. Definitely. Yeah, he's a good actor too. I remember seeing him briefly in like the sequels, and he was still very good at playing that character and being very much like, once he even accepts magic, it's just like, no, we still have to follow the rules.
Exactly.
I love this kid. Yeah.
That's great.
And Marty never grows out of that, as far as I understand. Like, no, rules are made to be broken. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, rules, where we're going, we don't need rules. We need a mashup t-shirt now.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I think so. That's basically kind of like, I like that we've established Halloweentown as like the barometer of like the best.
Because I
can't think of any other Decom that surpasses it. At least not right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I would say that Brink is better, but I think the villains in this movie are better, even though they're not more complicated. You kind of, like, he's a bad guy who's just bad in both of those, but in this one, the villain is sort of like a side note, and the real villain is like not understanding your family.
Exactly. That's a really good insight. I agree.
And Brink was more about like, sticking to your morals and not letting the stress of being alive bring you down. Which sounds, I'm sorry, that's a super morbid, but that's like kind of what I got from it. That like, you know, life's gonna throw things at you, and you have to learn how to navigate it without assuming that people want you to be a certain way without talking to them first and taking them at their word when they tell you, no, I don't want you to do this because you don't need to do this. I can help you with the thing you're going to do. So
yeah, anyway. Totally.
I could write a thesis on Brink at this point. I did not care about Brink very much. And now I'm all like, Brink is this amazing movie about the Sunshine Boy.
That's really funny.
Samantha, what have you done to me?
My plan is working.
I have a bad feeling that I'm going to have like really strong feelings about every single movie that we watch.
You might.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I had to say about this. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
I think we covered it.
Yeah, I think so too. Let us know if there's anything that we missed, or go watch our other video, which I will link to at some point somewhere. And have a great Halloween. Dress up, eat candy, or drink bubbly flavored water if you're diabetic like me. That's so cute. I love that. Yeah. Oh, and also go check out Samantha. What's your channel?
Oh, Exploring Historian.
Yes, I'll link to that too. And Samantha's doing a Star Trek watching with her friend Erin, Dr. Erin.
Yes.
Yes.
Check it out. Watch me watch Star Trek for the first time.
Yes, and hear Samantha talk about it's so great. I watched it. It was awesome. It was so fun to listen to because I have a very tangential knowledge of Star Trek because my dad watched it, but I was terrified of it. It's really fun to learn about Voyager from you guys because I'd never really knew much about it because my dad watched Next Generation, so that's like what I know about. So anyway, link to it, check it out. It's really fun. It's also fun because Erin knows a lot about Star Trek and science in general.
Yeah, she's amazing. So we talk about her. I link her channel in the video, so check her out too.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, that's about it. And then I don't know what the next movie's gonna be, and I'm not gonna look it up. Woo! But we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.